Major League Pickleball just released the schedules for MLP Phoenix, or rather the Edward Jones MLP Phoenix event, sponsored by DoorDash and all this other stuff, right? Let's make sure we get all the sponsor names in there. Day one is going to be Thursday, May 29th, and there's only going to be games on Championship Court. Games start at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That means 6 p.m. for me here on the East Coast. First game is the LA Mad Drops versus the Brooklyn Pickleball team. I think the LA Mad Drops are going to take that match. At 5 p.m., we've got the Atlanta Bouncers versus the Utah Black Diamonds. I'm taking the Atlanta Bouncers in a Dream Breaker. 6:45, Social Hard Eights versus the Dallas Flash. I mean, barring any kind of injury or something like that, the Dallas Flash look unbeatable this year. Dallas Flash in 4 straight. And finally, at 8:30, the LA Mad Drops will play again against the Phoenix Flames. Home court advantage to the Phoenix Flames. I think they take it 3-1. Now on Friday, we've got games on Grandstand and Championship Court. So let's take a look at those. For the Championship Court, starting at 3 p.m., the Atlanta Bouncers versus Phoenix. I think, again, Phoenix, home court advantage. They'll take this one 3-1. At 5 p.m., you've got the Dallas Flash versus the Brooklyn Pickleball team. Again, don't bet against the Dallas Flash. They take it in a 4-0 sweep. At 5:45 on Grandstand, you'll have the Social Hard Eights versus the LA Mad Drops. This is a tough one. I'm going to give it to the SoCal Hard Eights, which I recently just called the Social Hard Eights, but the SoCal Hard Eights, I'm going to give it to them in a Dream Breaker. And then at 6:45, the Phoenix Flames, which I already mentioned. And then again at 7:30, you have the Dallas Flash versus the Atlanta Bouncers. It's going to be another 4-0 sweep for the Dallas Flash. Finally, at 8:30 p.m., the Brooklyn Pickleball team versus the SoCal Hard Eights. Now, they had a game at 5:45, and then they got to turn around and play at 5:30. I think Brooklyn Pickleball team is going to take this one just because the SoCal Hard Eights are, those are basically back-to-back games. Moving on to Saturday, starting with Championship Court at 3:30, the Dallas Flash versus the Utah Black Diamonds. The Flash, 4-0 sweep. And then immediately after that, you got the Utah Black Diamonds having to play the Mad Drops. Mad Drops are going to take that one probably 3-1, I think. You got a Celebrity Pro-Am at 7:30. Okay, that's great. 5:45, we got the Atlanta Bouncers versus the SoCal Hard Eights. I think this one goes to a Dream Breaker. It's kind of a toss-up. Let's go with the SoCal Hard Eights. At 7:30 on Grandstand Court, you got the Brooklyn Pickleball team versus the Atlanta Bouncers. Now, you got Atlanta playing back-to-back. I think Brooklyn takes it 3-1. And finally, Dallas Flash versus the Phoenix Flames in Saturday Night Pickleball. That's going to be a late one for me because it's going to start at 11:30 over here. Am I going to watch that? I don't know. Probably not. I got church the next morning, but I'll catch the replays. It's going to be the Flash. I think the home court advantage gives the Flames enough mojo to take it to a Dream Breaker, but the Flash are still going to take it in that Dream Breaker. On Sunday on Championship Court, starting at 9 a.m., the LA Mad Drops versus the Dallas Flash. The Flash take this one, again, probably 3-1, not 4-0, because they played the late game last time and they got to get up the next morning. It wouldn't surprise me if this goes to a Dream Breaker, but I think it'll be 3-1. At 8 a.m. on Grandstand Court, you got the Utah Black Diamonds versus the SoCal Hard Eights. We're getting a lot of repeat matchups here. Let's go with the Diamonds for the early morning game. 9:45, the Phoenix Flames versus SoCal. So SoCal's got back-to-back games there. I think the Phoenix Flames take that one as well. Probably a 4-0 sweep for Phoenix on that one. At 10:45 a.m., the Brooklyn Pickleball team versus the Utah Black Diamonds. This is basically a back-to-back game for Utah again. I think this one goes to a dream breaker, and Brooklyn is going to take that one. The Phoenix Flames play at 12:30 on Championship Court versus the Brooklyn Pickleball team. A lot of back-to-back games here on Sunday. I think the Phoenix Flames take this one 3-1. And at 11:30 a.m., we got on Grandstand Court the LA Mad Drops versus the Atlanta Bouncers. Atlanta has had a good break here. They're going to come in at 11:30, and I think they're going to beat the Mad Drops 3-1. All right, so those are my picks for the MLP event in Phoenix this weekend. What do you think? Let me know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, half of these picks are at random. I have no reason for picking them except to pick them. So tell me what you think, and let's see how accurate my uneducated guesses are.